Welcome to Core Kinds Today for June 20th, 2023. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now, including Pluto TV is now better than ever, Amazon and Apple TV may be the new home for the Pac-12, and cable TV is spending less on content. We'll be taking a look at all this and a whole lot more here in a minute. First though, if you want to find out more about these stories, check out the show notes down below, and in the first pinned comment, I'll put a link to each story there so you can read about them for yourself and come up with your own opinions. I'll love to hear from you. If you're new here, do me a big favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends our videos to more people, helping us grow, helping us support our families. We would really appreciate it. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows you enjoy. So with that said, let's dive into the story, starting off with Pluto TV's a lot better now than it was just a few years ago. Now, one of the biggest complaints about all free ad-supported streaming services, especially in those 24/7 channels, is the fact that it seems to repeat content. Well, last week during the Stream TV show, they came up and they talked a lot about content acquisition for Pluto TV and other streaming services. And one of the things that Pluto TV said was the fact that in the past, you could launch a 24/7 dedicated channel with just 100 hours of content. Now they've tripled that to 300 hours of content over the last little while. And new channels, with some exceptions I'll cover in a second, now require 300 hours of content. This means in the past, in just a couple days, you would have run through all the content. Now there's enough for 12 and a half days of content on each channel, meaning there's a lot less likelihood of you seeing repeat content for these channels that put content out there. There's a few exceptions. For example, recently there was a Star Trek Strange New Worlds channel showing the first season of Strange New Worlds ahead of the release of the season 2 that just came out this month on Paramount Plus. An advertising ploy to get you to subscribe to Paramount Plus. Well, obviously one season of content's not 300 hours. So there are exceptions to this rule, but the overall rule, according to Pluto TV, is you now, if you come to them and you want to launch a channel on Pluto TV, you need 300 hours of content where you can, or you're not going to be able to put your content on there. Which I love. I think this is a great move for them. It means that they are able to offer a lot of content, address one of the big concerns Pluto TV and other services had with customers unhappy about the limited amount of content. All right, let's keep moving along. The Pac-12 has been desperate for a TV partner. According to the University of Washington State, they previously had thought a deal would be done by now. Now he has said that they expect a contract to be announced this month. Now, it started to look increasingly like Amazon or Apple TV will, at minimum, have a big part of this deal. The streaming will be a major aspect of the new Pac-12 network deal. And that if you want to watch Pac-12 football or basketball, and maybe even other sports, you may find yourself in a position of having to watch it on Amazon or Apple TV. It says streaming services push heavily into sports. Now, the Pac-12 is in a little bit of a difficult position. Two of their biggest names, USC and UCLA, which are big for TV because they deliver that huge California market. But now they're moving to the Big Ten, so the new media deal will not be a part of will not count those two teams, and they're not negotiating as a part of that. And that really does hurt the Pac-12 here. It's been reported that Fox and ESPN have either said no or either said, hey, we will do it, but the price is so crazy low, the Pac-12 is not interested. There is talk that the CW may pick up some, very similar to how the CW picked up some WNBA games once a week. The question is, will this be all the games? Well, maybe they will offer in-market games on the CW in those markets, and then outside of that, it will be streamed on Amazon and Apple TV and more. We'll have to keep a close eye on that. But Amazon and Apple TV Plus are reportedly two of the biggest names coming up for the Pac-12 network. Now, if this happens, I suspect that this is just the start. I think more and more conferences out there, especially maybe some of the smaller ones like the Mountain West, the Sun Belt, the MAC, may be turning to more streaming. Now, there's some exceptions here. For example, MAC and the Sun Belt just renewed their ESPN contracts because they were willing to do weekday, like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday games a lot more. They got a decent contract because there wasn't a lot of competition for those slots. Of course, the Pac-12 doesn't want that. They want their games on Friday nights, maybe Thursday nights and Saturdays to really get the biggest audience with that. So we'll see how that all plays out, but very interesting to see how TV rights are changing. While a lot of Big Ten, SEC, and more just struck new contracts. When those renew in the future, is it very likely that we're going to see more streaming? Even the Big Ten has struck deals to put a handful of games exclusively on Peacock, for example. Look for sports streaming to be very different over the next 10 years. But, we got to honor some contracts before we get to that first. All right. Cable TV is expected to spend less on content in 2023. As with all things, cable TV is struggling, and now they're going to be spending less on new original content. According to a new report from Ampere, A-M-P-E-R-E, analyst reports, basically says that the amount of growth expected in spending on new content for cable networks is shrinking as more of that content moves to Disney+, Paramount+, Hulu, Peacock, HBO Max, or excuse me, now just Max. I still have to remember that, and more. Look for this to become more and more common. The amount of content people are paying for or putting on traditional cable TV is shrinking. I expect this to continue to shrink as viewer eyeballs move away from it, move to streaming. Paramount was very clear recently that their CEO said, hey, streaming is our main focus. That's where we're putting content. It's actually kind of funny. They may pull some older Paramount Plus content to CBS this fall if the writer's strike continues, as it's expected to continue. With that happening, content spending on traditional cable TV is going to keep down. Now, it doesn't mean it's going away. Doesn't mean there won't be new stuff. It just means there'll be less spending on it. All right, if you own an Echo device, you can now purchase for a yearly fee a Hey Disney, which will allow you to get your weather and interactions with your Echo and Alexa done in one of your favorite Disney voices. Allow you to have a true Disney fan's experience of having your Echo be Disney-fied. I want to know, anybody here willing to pay the price to get your Disney character with that? And if I remember right, it's like $5.99 a year, not a horrible fee, to be able to have Alexa be Disney-fied and have all the reactions be Disney characters and more when it gives you your weather, your traffic, whatever else you're maybe asking it to do. Leave me a comment, let me know, would you spend the money on that? Because you can do it on your Fire TV and other places if I remember right. All right, here's a big question for you. According to a new study, cord cutters are cutting back in the number of streaming services. Are you? Now, I've talked about this a lot over the past. Now we got a study that backs up what I've been seeing. Is that basically during the pandemic, when people were stuck at home, they were willing to pay for more streaming services because they were watching more TV. Now that that's over and people are getting back into the real world, the number of streaming services people are willing to pay for, not just in cord cutting, but in TV, but music and more, is shrinking. And it does vary. People 35 and older pay for less than people 18 to 34 and more. Men are willing to pay for more than women are, etc. So, question to you, are you paying for more services or less services? I know during the pandemic, it was definitely very tempting to be like, hey, let's just go get this extra service. We're at home all the time. We're watching TV a lot. I'm willing to pay for it. Now that that's over, I'm less willing to pay for it. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think. Are you paying for more services or less now? In our studies, when it comes to cord-cutting streaming services, paid ones, not free ones, 3 to 4 were traditionally kind of the breaking point, right? People subscribe to 3, sometimes 4. If there's, for example, the new Outlander that just came out, people may pick up Stars just for that and then drop it later. But I find that was the average 3 to 4. That creeped up closer to 5 and 6 at one point at the height of the pandemic, and now is back down to about 4 with that. I expect that to get back to the 3 to 4. So leave me a comment. You let me know, how does that play out for you? Is that line up with what you've seen in your own purchasing behavior? All right, last story up of the day, how to get free Paramount Plus, Netflix, Apple TV, and more from streaming from services you already pay for. The big one here is T-Mobile. If you're a T-Mobile customer, they got a lot of good deals. Unfortunately, Verizon, if you still have the same plan, you can get some good deals, but new customers with Verizon are no longer eligible for like the free Disney Plus bundle, for example. You can get a discounted deal. It's not free though. But Walmart Plus customers can get Paramount Plus. T-Mobile customers can also Netflix from T-Mobile with that. Apple TV from T-Mobile. You can also get, for a limited time, Walmart customers, Sirius XM if you do it right away. That deal's ending. And Major League Baseball's MLB.TV is free to T-Mobile customers. Look for that to all be right there with all this on that. If you're looking for a way to get free streaming services, definitely take advantage of some of these deals. Seems like T-Mobile really wants to use that to become way to get people to subscribe. Same with Walmart Plus. Well, that's it for today. I hope you all had a fantastic day. Hope you all have a great Tuesday, or whenever you may be watching this. I will be back tomorrow with another Cord Cutting Today. Take care, be safe, have a fantastic day, everybody.